ready for some football? Jim Donovan is going to join us. He'll tell us what to expect as we kick off the 2020 NFL season. And to help get you ready, we have exclusive team coverage, including an interview with NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. He's going to tell us what the league is doing to make sure players and fans stay safe.
Going red. Summit County seeing a COVID-19 increase. The governor identifies the source of some of those cases.
Halloween is on, at least for one Northeast Ohio community, while another pulls the plug on trick-or-treat. We'll tell you where.
It's one of the easiest things you'll ever do with the biggest impact that we can get for this community.
It's Census Thursday. Hundreds of millions of dollars for our area is on the line. We look at where that money goes and answer your questions about privacy. Plus, Mike Polk Jr.'s warning about what could happen if you aren't counted.
And are you ready for Throwdown Thursday? Betsy and I will put our NFL knowledge to the test today in our never-ending fight for the leg lamp. What's new starts now.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
And you are looking at live pictures of Kansas City's Arrowhead Stadium, where in just over 3 hours from right now, the defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs will take on the Houston Texans in a playoff rematch of last year. It will kick off the 2020 NFL season. You'll see it all right here on 3 News. Hello again, Northeast Ohio, and Happy New Year. That's what I like to call it. Thanks so much for watching What's New. With Betsy Kling, I'm Jay Crawford. Betsy, it's so mysterious this year, the entire season, because for the first time in the Super Bowl era, there was no preseason for us to figure stuff out.
That's right. There's no plugging your nose. Just jump straight in and go.
That's a great way of saying it, man. You just boom, you're in, and we'll find out beginning tonight at 8:20 what happens. Let's bring in the voice of the Cleveland Browns, Jim Donovan, right now. Jim, I'm always like a kid at Christmas for the start of a new NFL season. I know you are as well. But wow, this is really unlike anything we have ever seen.
Absolutely, Jay. Right now, the NFL feels pretty good. They are cautiously optimistic. They have passed a big test. They got their teams into training camp. They now get to the first game of the season. And so far, it's all green lights. It's go, and they're ready to go tonight with the kickoff classic, as it will be the defending Super Bowl champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, in their stadium, Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City. They'll unfurl their Super Bowl banner while taking on the Houston Texans. Now, the first note that's going to be very important. This is one of the loudest stadiums in the NFL if it was a normal season, but of course it's not. Capacity 76,000. They would have had 100,000 Chiefs fans if they would have allowed them in there tonight. Instead, there will be 17,000 fans allowed into that game coming up tonight in Kansas City. Far different from a normal NFL kickoff opener for any team in the NFL. So the league is ready to go. The Browns are ready to go, and they travel on the road coming up on Saturday to get to Baltimore for their opener on Sunday. The NFL has put precautions in across the board, expanded practice squads, but Roger Goodell's still waiting to see those results when these teams travel for the first time, which is this weekend. What happens if there's another outbreak like there possibly could have been a couple of weeks ago when they had all of those false positive tests? He talked with NBC Sports' Mike Tirico today.
We've got backups to the backups to the backups, and to be able to have experts in there that are watching closely. We've been fortunate, but we do expect they're going to be positives. We have, we have 2,000 people playing this game. Another 1,000 coaches and personnel around in that area. And so we have to be prepared for that.
We are prepared here on Channel 3 tonight. Our coverage will begin at 7 o'clock. Kickoff is at 8:20. Jay, there are a couple of big factors, not the score of the game. How is the game going to look in a 17,000 attended game tonight at Arrowhead Stadium? What's the quality of play going to be like right now? Remember, they've had no preseason games, as you and Betsy were alluding to. And the other thing is, how is it going to sound? I mean, how is it going to sound, the feel of the game, and are people just going to get so enjoyable time watching the game that they're going to forget all of that and say, I've missed the sport so much, I'm just so happy it's back. All of those things the NFL is watching, and a very important number will be what kind of rating are they going to get nationally tonight? Is the public missing it so much that it's must-see TV?
I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say absolutely. I think nationally it's going to be one of the biggest numbers for any sporting event not named a Super Bowl all year. Okay, Jimmy,
Right.
We know that tonight's going to be great entertainment for us. But for the Browns on Sunday, it's the all-important third year for Baker Mayfield. You know how big that is for young quarterbacks. Kevin Stefanski will be Baker's fourth different head coach in the start of his third season. It's incredible. What are you expecting from our Browns in 2020?
Well, I'll tell you what, Jay, I think it's this. I think that for Baker Mayfield personally, it's a show me what you got year. It's his third year. In his rookie year, he kind of made it look easy. In his second year last year, it wasn't easy at all. Not one thing was easy, and he came apart. He came apart in a lack of leadership. He came apart in accuracy. He came apart in mechanics. He needed to be put back together. So they've done that in the offseason, dedicated all of that. I will say this, Jay. They traveled to Baltimore on Sunday to open up their season, and the Ravens are picked to be a team that could go all the way, certainly win the AFC and make it to the Super Bowl. But if I'm the Browns, with the star power they have, I don't go in there and play conservative. I let the stars play. And if the stars can come together and play as a team, rather than the way they did last year as a bunch of individuals, the Browns can play with anybody. And more importantly, Jay, they can score with anybody.
Well, the Kevin Stefanski era about to get underway. Jimmy, we can't wait. We'll see you soon, and I know everybody will be listening to you on Sunday with the call of the Browns and the Ravens. Jimmy, thanks.
Well, COVID-19 has certainly had a factor in everything, football included. And when it comes to coronavirus, it certainly seems like we take 2 steps forward and then we get knocked back again. And that seems to be the case in Summit County. The governor announced just a few hours ago it has returned to level 3 coronavirus risk. That means very high exposure and spread. Laura Queso listened to the governor today, and Laura, Summit County is the 4th most populated county in the state, so this is definitely not good news.
No, Betsy, it's not the news we want to hear. The governor is basically saying the county is seeing a sustained increase in hospitalizations. Outbreaks have been associated with workplaces and a fraternal club. And it's spreading quickly. He said 2 people visited the club and were contagious. Since then, employees and family members have tested positive, 12 of them so far. It all started with just 2 people. The governor said the age range is 29 to 81, and 4 people have been hospitalized.
Summit County seeing a sustained increase, sadly, in emergency department visits for COVID-like illness. That is an early warning sign. On August 20th, the county had an average of 5 visits per day to the emergency department. That number increased to an average of 9 visits per day by August 27th.
Yeah, not great news. However, as we continue to fight the pandemic, the governor announced we have a new director for the Ohio Department of Health, Dr. Joan Duvey. She comes to us from South Carolina. However, she is from right here in Northeast Ohio. She graduated from North Olmsted High School and The Ohio State. The governor said today she's expected to start on October 1st. Betsy?
Oh, thanks so much for the report, Laura. And, you know, the governor didn't identify the fraternal club necessarily in order to kind of keep things under wraps. But, you know, you got to wonder, are we going to see more of that coming out of that club? So we'll keep a close eye on that for sure. Thank you so much. Sure. Well, certainly the direction is not where we want to be headed, as Laura said, in the coronavirus cases in Ohio. There were 1,121 new cases reported in the last 24 hours, and now that's above the 21-day average after falling for several days below that average.
Yeah, Betsy, in fact, 3 of the 4 data points that we watch closely are now going in the wrong direction. Our positivity rate jumped a full percentage point all the way up to 4.4%. in just the last day. Hospitalizations, though, continue their downward trend. That is the one bit of good news. We have 16 fewer patients statewide today than yesterday, 682 in Ohio hospitals. Deaths, though, up 4 from yesterday. 30 were included in today's report.
Well, the next big thing on the what's going to change because of coronavirus list, trick or treat. It's going to be the next big one we have to make decisions on as parents, because now we are dealing with how to handle school and we have to figure out what to do about trick or treating. Today, the city of North Canton announced the event will go on. Mayor Stephen Wilder says trick or treating has always been an opt-in activity, so those who don't feel comfortable going out or passing out candy, you don't have to. North Canton is one of the first cities in Ohio to say trick or treating is still on. Meanwhile, Copley Township announced they will not be having a community-sponsored trick-or-treat night this year. However, neighborhoods can organize their own, and I'm sure the neighborhoods are definitely going to be getting on that. You know, Jay, I have to say, we have had chats about this already. What are we going to do? I mentioned yesterday, you know, getting the candy and putting it away for a few days, letting it cool off, so to speak, and then maybe diving in after that. It's a tough decision. I really hate to take one more thing away from the kids, certainly. I think we can navigate the waters. I don't know municipality-wise if it's the best idea to say, let the neighborhoods figure it out. Because there's more support that goes into trick-or-treating than just random kids running around. There's also staffing of police and other things that go into it. So I think that's interesting. And also, if your neighborhood's not having it, that neighborhood is, I'm going to go over to the next town, or I'm going to go someplace else that is having it. Now you got people going into different communities.
Yeah, tough to police.
Mm-hmm. All right, well. You can tell what I'm flustered about, right? It's hard.
These are big decisions. These are big. I love your idea. Let the candy cool off for a while. Most of it's in wrappers.
Right.
So, you know, there's no real danger of a kid touching a piece of candy that was touched by another person.
Days ago.
So, and like the mayor said, it's an opt-in activity anyhow.
Right.
If you want to participate, fine. If not, it's easy enough not to.
We're all parents here. Russ Mitchell joining us over at the news desk now. And certainly, you know, when they hand the baby to you when you have the baby and they say, all right, Mom, what do you want to do now? I looked at my mom and I said, well, ask her. She's the mom. And they said, no, you're the mom. So these are decisions we never had to consider in the past. So
oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah, my daughter in New York, she's not going trick-or-treating this year.
Oh,
so
no.
Not happening.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Candy Gate, now that we've solved that problem. All right. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody, and good afternoon to you at home. Right now, friends, family, and law enforcement officers are paying their respects to Cleveland Police Detective James Skirnovitz, who was killed in the line of duty a week ago. This is video from the A. Rapepi and Sons Funeral Home in Middleburg Heights, where many have been streaming all day. Calling hours for Detective Skirnovitz go into 8 o'clock tonight. His funeral services are set for 10 tomorrow morning at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. The funeral is private, but it will be live streamed on the police department's Facebook page. Some developing news now out of Akron, where an 8-year-old girl was shot while sitting in a car. Police say that car was found on Copley Road and had been hit by bullets, but they believe the shooting happened on Greenwood. The child was rushed to the hospital. No word yet on her condition. There were other kids in the car, but we are told they were not hurt. And President Trump today responding once again to that new book by journalist Bob Woodward, where on tape, Mr. Trump said he downplayed the seriousness of coronavirus.
So obviously, outwardly, I said it's a very serious problem. And it's always a serious problem. That doesn't mean I'm going to jump up and down in the air and start saying, people are going to die, people are going to die. No, I'm not going to do that. We're going to get through this.
Again, President Trump from earlier today. Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden yesterday called the president's actions despicable. By the way, the first presidential debate is just 2 weeks from next Tuesday. And of course, that is right here in Cleveland. Jay?
Talk about your must-see TV.
That's right.
There it is. Russ, thanks. We'll see you at the top of the hour with What Matters Most. After a quick break, an easy way to get your neighborhood access to more jobs and more money. Who doesn't want that? And it all takes less than 10 minutes. Mike Polk is going to break it down for us. This is big stuff, Betsy.
It is. And later, why the start to the NFL season isn't the only reason sports fans are pumped today. And guess who's back? Matt Wentz.
Hi there, Betsy. We've got the stubborn stratus clouds coming off the lake today. That's whenever you have that cooler air coming across. Now, how long does this last for our lakeshore counties, and when do we all get back to that sunshine? We've got that forecast over the next 7 days coming up.
All right, welcome back to What's New. Whatever you're doing, please stop, because this next story is very important. We need to talk about the ongoing 2020 census. And I know you're probably saying that sounds boring, but this is super important. And to make sure that it is as interesting as we can possibly make it, we put Mike Polk on the case.
Hey folks, the deadline to complete your 2020 census form is fast approaching, and if you haven't done it yet, we sure wish you would. Look, I don't like homework either, but even I did it, and I promise it doesn't take very long, and the questions aren't even that hard. In fact, I'm pretty sure I aced it. And here's the deal. The more people from Northeast Ohio who complete this thing, the better it is for the whole area. Because the numbers that come out of this census will shape how much federal support, aka Uncle Sam bucks, Ohio will receive over the next 10 years. The more people the census says we have, the more money we get for everything from social programs to road repair to lighthouse maintenance, probably, I don't know, everything. And that's obviously important, but there's another reason that I think all Clevelanders should fill this census out. And that's a little something called civic pride. By measure of population, Cleveland is the 53rd biggest city in America, which is by no means terrible, though obviously a far cry from our heyday in the early 20th century when we were the 6th biggest city, which led to Cleveland being nicknamed the 6th city. Of course, the fact is we're not getting back up to number 6, you guys. We are very much a double-digit city at this point, and that's fine as far as I'm concerned. Look how packed downtown used to be. No thanks to that, this is way better. You know, more elbow room, affordable rent, plenty of street parking, that's good stuff. But I'm certainly not comfortable slipping much further than 53. And I'm looking at some of these cities that could potentially pass us up in population, depending on how the census turns out, and it is not good, folks. For example, do you want to get passed up by number 61, Henderson, Nevada? Do you want to fall behind this desert suburb of Las Vegas that's probably populated by a bunch of casino magicians and blackjack dealers? And if that doesn't scare you, guess who else is in striking distance? How about number 64, Cincinnati? Do you really want to give population bragging rights to an interstate rival city whose airport is in Kentucky, full of people who believe that this is an acceptable form of food? It's an abomination. Still not bad enough for you? Well, guess who's just 2 spots down from there and could also pass us up? Ever hear of a little town called Pittsburgh? Oh sure, it's a long shot. They're at 66 right now. But wouldn't it be just like them to respond to the census extra hard out of spite, just to try and pass us up? They're probably doing it right now, trying to become a bigger city than us. Is that okay with you? Now that I've whipped you into a frenzy, let me show you how easy it is to complete the census. Do you still have that census postcard that you received in the mail at some point? Me either. These are some coupons for an oil change place. I lost that census thing a long time ago, but it doesn't matter because you don't even need that. Just go to 2020census.gov and fill it out there. It not only benefits the whole area financially, but also helps us to maintain a statistical dominance over our smaller rival cities. Everybody wins. And who knows, if we do really well, maybe we'll even move up a spot or 2. You hear that, Wichita, Kansas? Cleveland's coming for you.
How is Wichita bigger than Cleveland?
That is saying something right there. Well, I can tell you there is one family that is doing their part to add people to greater Cleveland, and that is the Wentz family. Yeah. Matt back off of paternity leave today. Welcome back, Matt. How's things going?
Oh, Betsy, it couldn't be any better in this household. I'm telling you what, 66% of us are sleeping right now. So of the kids, not of the adults. I'm awake, I promise. Yeah, things are settling in quite nicely. I'll tell you, 3 is a game changer. 2, you can manage, but 3, it's just complete chaos. Fantastic.
Well, it's wonderful chaos. It's the best kind of chaos. And I just want to let you know, we missed you, our viewers missed you, and we are thrilled to have you back. And you get a word. Your weather word of the day, Matt, is come back.
Come back. All right. That's fantastic. That'll be great. I missed everyone as well. I'm telling you, I think it'd be a little bit different if I were able to have a nice quiet commute by myself and come into the workplace. But I literally went down the steps and I'm in the playroom right now. So it doesn't quite feel like I'm back, but that's okay. Let's talk weather across the area. I'll tell you what, it has been just socked into the cloud cover across our northern tier counties. Once again, we had the dense fog area wide this morning. That fog has been slowly eroding down to the south. You know what I'm talking about as you get down towards the Akron area, south of 76. We're in the sunshine. That extends back towards the 71 corridor. But the rest of us, it's kind of feeling November-ish outside, isn't it? And that's because we have a frontal boundary that's stalled out. We've been dealing with the same frontal boundary in place over the last days, and you get that overriding moisture, you get these deep clouds. But look at the difference in temperatures. South of that front,
it's like a summer-like day in our southern tier of counties. Meanwhile, off towards the north, it's a little bit cooler. And you know what? They have the same weather out towards Kansas City that we do. They're a little bit cooler, but they've been dodging the showers and the drizzle in that game tonight. Again, they may have some showers around, but overall not expecting any impacts to the weather for that 8:20 kickoff at Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium. But keep in mind, we start our coverage here on WKYC at 7. Temperatures are divided. As I mentioned, it's 81 in tropical Dover, New Philly. It's 67 in Sandusky. We're going to continue this fine line over the next 24 hours between cooler temps to the north, warmer to the south. We've got a north wind. That's going to start to kick up tomorrow. It should bring in some drier air as well. You notice dew points are well into the 60s to near 70 degrees, so it's still got muggy feeling. But tomorrow what I think will happen is we'll start to erode some of this fog and the clouds and the drizzle off towards the north. But we're not going to do it tonight. Your patio forecast, we've got the clouds in, but not a lot of rain, just some spotty drizzle. So it should be a good night to head on out. Your National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast locked into the clouds tonight. We're falling to near 60, even upper 50s down towards the south. Your Friday, though, look what makes a comeback. That sunshine by afternoon should start to erode the clouds. Temperatures nicely settling into the low 70s. Pretty nice day tomorrow if we get the clouds out of here. And then on into Saturday, we set up a new weather system. Everything starts moving again, and we could see some strong late day Saturday, something to keep an eye on. Your Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecast, 72 tomorrow. We bring back heat and humidity on Saturday, and then this is going to set us up, guys, for a beautiful start to next week. Sunshine, low humidity, and temps in the 70s. So I hear a baby crying now, Betsy. Perfect timing to send it back to you.
Run, Dad, run. All right, thanks, Matt. Great job. Great to have you back, too. Well, next for us, who's offering more COVID testing sites in the Buckeye State, helping ensure that those who need a test can get one? Clicking in Cleveland is straight ahead.
Welcome back to What's New. It is time now to see what is clicking in Cleveland. Betsy is doing the honors on this Thursday. Bets, what are we clicking on today?
We have a lot that's happening. First up, we went from a drought to a storm when it comes to live sports. Love the weather puns. The NFL season kicks off tonight at 8:20 right here on NBC. There's an NBA playoff game. The Lakers take on the Rockets at 7. And there are a dozen Major League Baseball regular season games today, too. Now, don't forget the U.S. Open is also still happening. We have the complete list and how you can see the games on our website. CVS is expanding its drive-through coronavirus testing, and some kids can now get a test. The pharmacy chain is adding 20 new drive-through testing locations starting tomorrow, and kids ages 12 and up can now get a test with a parent or guardian's consent. Remember, you have to pre-register. And just hitting WKYC.com, Ohio State University football coach Ryan Day has taken his frustration with the postponement of the Big Ten season straight to social media. He tweeted an open letter saying communication following that decision has been, quote, disappointing and often unclear. He did give props to the team and the Big Ten's medical subcommittee for getting everybody ready to return to play in October. You can read the whole post on our app and our website, too. So lots going on with sports today. And, of course, Ohio State, we've been waiting to see what's going to happen with college football. And, you know, everything's kind of happening all at once now. So hold on.
He's not holding back.
He's not.
Letting everyone know where he stands.
And I think a lot of people agree with him.
Yeah, they do. Okay, as the NFL season begins, the success and the challenges that the players face from everything really from the coronavirus and trying to navigate that to getting their message across in social media. Betsy, that's something we're going to see a lot of when we watch the game tonight.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
And there's one man who had a debilitating spinal cord injury. He is now flipped it around and making sure that people just like him can still get outdoors and enjoy.
Yeah, that's a really cool story. And this is Thursday, so you know the drill. Throwdown Thursday, and it's a big NFL showdown. And Bets, the pressure is really on me because the questions are all NFL related. I'm supposed to win this thing.
NFL to me is Michelob Ultra and wings, so I have no clue where this is going to go. If those are the answers, I'm set.
When in doubt, go with that as your answer.
Got it.
What's New is coming right back.
And now, live from WKYC Studios, this is What's New.
What's going on, everybody? It's Travis Kelce from Cleveland Heights, Ohio. Just out here representing the city the best way I can, man. I hope everyone is doing great, staying positive, staying safe, and everyone in the CLE and the 216. I miss you guys, and I love you guys. Peace.
You probably know that guy, the Cleveland Heights kid with the Super Bowl ring. Thanks for the shout out, Travis. And now this is a live look at Arrowhead Stadium, where he and his world champion Kansas City Chiefs are going to kick off the NFL season against the Houston Texans in just under 3 hours. The game coming up right here on Channel 3. We're really excited about it, too. Thanks so much for sticking with us here at 5:30. Jay, I'm telling you, this season, there's a lot of people who are actually excited because there wasn't a preseason, so it's just see what happens.
I mean, think about it. The rookies, by this point, have played 4 preseason games. They're going to get their first taste of live NFL action tonight and on Sunday. It's crazy. By the way, Kelce not only has a Super Bowl ring, Betsy, if you missed it over the offseason, he's a very wealthy young man now. He signed a 4-year, $57 million deal in the offseason to stay with Kansas City. Wow, one of the highest paid tight ends in the National Football League. So much intrigue, so much mystery. What's going to happen tonight? What's going to happen Sunday when the Browns go to Baltimore? No dress rehearsal to iron out the kinks, so we're going to find out in real time.
Yeah, he gets back to the locker room and people are like, how was your off season, man? He's like, pretty good. It's rich.
Yeah, it was very good.
That's fantastic. Well, the NFL season kickoff is our top talker today. We have our man on the ground live in Kansas City. It's the other Jay, Jay Gray, who is joining us from downtown Kansas City. Not the stadium, of course, because coronavirus limits the inside access. But Jay, things have got to be just electric there in the KC.
Well, the city is ready for the game tonight. I think we could use a bit of the diversion. Yeah, usually we're talking to you from the sidelines. We're not the only ones that have been kicked out, though. The Chiefs mascot and cheerleaders won't be on the sidelines as well. I'm in pretty good company. That's just one of the changes you'll notice as they kick things off here tonight.
Here we go.
Super excited for the game. Yeah, I kind of tear up a little bit just thinking about it.
Kickoff now just hours away, but this season will be different. The league, like the country, dealing with COVID-19 and growing calls for justice reform and equality. Instead of more than 76,000 screaming fans on opening night, only 17,000 will be inside Arrowhead Stadium. Masks will be required, concessions limited, and those fans spread out.
I do believe that we'll be able to have more fans as the season goes on. But, of course, that depends on a lot of things that none of us can predict.
For it all to work, the players have to stay virus-free, too. Of the 44,000 COVID tests the NFL administered between August 30th and September 5th, only 1 player and 7 team staffers had new positive results.
We, the National Football League,
believe Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives Matter. Black Lives Matter.
Results are what many players expect, eager to use their platform to continue what has been a nationwide push for social change.
This needs to be informed, and we need to be the role models to go out there and take that step.
As they step on the field for the start of a season unlike any other in the history of the game.
Yeah, and that field could be kind of soggy tonight. It's been raining all day here, letting up now, and is supposed to stay clear through the game. So I guess somebody else wants to see him play as well. Betsy, back to you.
They definitely do, Jay. And let me ask you this. You know, so many of the players are using the games as a platform to stand for social justice. Do you think we'll be seeing any of that in the game?
Oh, absolutely. There's been no announcement, but what we hear is both teams may come together during the national anthem, and then during the game you're going to see a lot of social activism.
All right, we'll be on the lookout for that. Jay Gray, thank you so much for joining us live there from the KC. Have a great time tonight. Thanks. Eat some barbecue for us, too. I hear it's pretty good down that way. And we also, of course, have a programming note. The game is right here on 3 News. Kickoff. Well, kickoff's at 8, but our coverage starts at 7.
Yes, it does. Well, everyone counts, and millions of dollars, along with some jobs, are on the line. The census closes September 30th, so local media outlets have decided to team up for what we're calling Census Thursday. Here's the goal. We want to make sure we remind people just how important it is to make sure that everyone that lives here is counted. I spoke with Cuyahoga County Executive Armin Budish yesterday to learn how the census affects us and also to dispel some urban myths.
The census determines how much federal money comes to this area. And we're talking billions. I mean, probably about $5 billion over the next 10 years, which the census is a 10-year result. So, we're talking about money for, almost everything that goes on. It could be roads and bridges. It could be food stamps, SNAP. It could be Medicaid for health care for people. Most recently, the federal government provided money to deal with the pandemic to counties and cities and states around the country based on the census. For counties, for example, there was a 500,000 person cutoff. So any county over 500,000 got a good amount of money, like us. But poor Lucas County, because they didn't have a good, they were just under the 500,000 number. Had they had a better census, they would have probably come out about $100 million ahead of where they ended up.
Wow.
So the census means a lot in terms of funding.
Cleveland was the second worst major city in the United States when it came to census participation. Any idea why that number is so low for Cleveland?
Unfortunately, it's not just Cleveland. Our entire county the count so far has been self-reporting. So, it's a matter of people just signing up and answering the questions. I think people are concerned. You asked why. I think people are afraid, for one thing, that it's not confidential, and it is. People should not be afraid of that. There were some scares about, if I'm not a citizen, is there a problem? That is not an issue. It's confidential and it's easy.
It is easy. In fact, it's just a few simple questions. And really, it is simple to do. Just head to my2020census.gov. If you don't have the internet, you can call this number. It's on your screen now, 844-330-2020. Seriously, I'm not making this up. It takes less than 10 minutes. We have everything to gain. Betsy, Executive Budish says that Cuyahoga County is right now at about 65% participation, which is woefully low. We really need to get that number at least into the 75% range, or he says it could have dire consequences for all of us in the region. Residents in the city of Cleveland are also very important. They're a huge part of this. Again, the census closes on September 30th, so still a couple of weeks to get this going.
Stand up and be counted.
Absolutely. Okay, Betsy, we have a really awesome story for today's Show Us Something Good. A man who suffered a spinal injury snowboarding found a way to give freedom back to people with physical limitations like himself. Christian Bragg is his name. He created the Bowhead Reach.
Whoa!
This is so cool. It's a recumbent bike that has a heavier duty rear tire with a motor. The all-terrain bike can even be adapted to quadriplegic riders, giving incredible outdoor freedom to people of all mobility levels.
That's phenomenal. It's like a mountain trike.
It really is.
That's
fantastic. For the adventure seekers that suffered a terrible accident that have not been able to enjoy that kind of thrill seeking, there you go. That is pretty cool. Way to go, Christian.
Certainly. Something to smile about. We love it. Good news is always a good thing. And it's also good news when this whole football game finally gets started, because it's pretty much what everybody's talking about right now. But it's an interesting note that NBC has turned once again to Carrie Underwood for the Sunday Night Football theme song. We'll dive into that.
Yeah, it's become a tradition. And it feels so good to say this again. Hello, Matt Wentz.
Hi there, Jay. Good to be back with you, buddy. I'll tell you what, we are stuck in these clouds across the northern tier of the viewing area today, but we have seen some sunshine down to the south. How does this set up our weekend, and will there be some rain in the forecast? We've got it all for you coming up.
Sure. Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Oh, it's time now to get another check on the forecast with Dad of 3, Matt Wentz, who's joining us. And oh, you have a tiny friend.
Oh. I know, guys. I'm telling you, these are the best moments. This will soften any hard heart. It's okay, big guy. And this is little baby Wyatt.
Hi, Wyatt.
He's so tiny. Goodness. Guys, I forgot. I think that was actually my wife bumping the toys. I forgot how delicate these little babies are. It's crazy. And we look at River now. River's just huge. And it's like, oh, I just don't want to break him. But
well, and he's 2 weeks old now, right?
Yeah, he's 2 weeks old, 2 weeks and 2 days. And it's just amazing. I'm like waiting for him to do stuff. And it's just like, well, he's got to get his digestive tract together. And that's all you wait for. So it's okay, big guy. I know.
Wow.
All right, Mama. So Mama. No, just kidding. Anyway, he wanted to say hello. So
well, thank you
Here
for
you go, honey.
sharing.
Oh, I know. Well, he
adorable.
He just woke up. Betsy says, God bless. She completely understands what you're going through, honey. All right. Let's get to the weather, though. I'll tell you what, it's been good napping weather for the kids today. River's been asleep for 3 hours, and Wyatt's been sleeping as well. A little backwards here with the day and night, but that happens. And it'll be more of the same tonight. We've got the clouds kind of locked in across mainly our lakeshore tier of counties, and that will continue tonight. Meanwhile, we'll be partly cloudy down towards the south. But look at the temperature difference. We're near 70, even upper 60s in our northern tier counties, including the greater Cleveland area. You get down towards the I-76 corridor and south, and we're in the 80s. All of us dealing with humidity. It's got that pretty muggy feel, although there is some slightly drier air to the north. Bottom line, it's just kind of a murky afternoon, and it will be a murky evening. The clouds, as I mentioned, hanging tough off towards the north. We've road to the south. We're going to stay locked into the clouds overnight for the greater Cleveland area back towards Toledo, out towards Ashtabula. And that's because we've got a frontal boundary that's lingering in place. You can see some of that moisture off towards the west. That rain will start to decrease in coverage as it approaches the area, but that will keep the moisture in place. Maybe some drizzle tonight. That may linger into tomorrow morning. But this temperature difference you see, that's going to start to move. And the reason why, we've got some airflow out of the northeast. It's going to start to ramp up a little bit. Kind of a rough day on the lake tomorrow. Your National Designmart hour-by-hour forecast showing that change in wind direction. It's everything this time of year. You can see perhaps low clouds and fog area-wide once again tonight, but tomorrow's the day of change. That wind direction shifts out of more of the northeast. It'll start to blow a little stronger as well, and that should start to mix up some of our atmosphere and eventually start to scour out some of that thick cloud cover around. I think we'll end up with a nice Friday area-wide. Temperatures will be on the cooler side. We'll generally be in the low 70s, and by tomorrow evening, we're dealing with mainly clear skies and a beautiful start to your Saturday morning. Saturday, we'll start with some sunshine. We'll do the opposite. We'll increase the clouds, and eventually we'll ramp up some storm chances late in the day. Some of those could be on the stronger side, especially late in the evening and overnight. The newest drought monitor's out. Look at what we've done over the last week. Rainfalls, we've eroded the drought, just some drier than average conditions. Matt Standridge, our new meteorologist, he is awesome. You've already met him. He'll have more coming up at 6. But over the next couple days, you can see we start to get things moving again. There's There's a cold front that we'll have to watch Saturday night, perhaps a line of strong to severe showers and thunderstorms. And guys, that's going to set us up beautifully next week. Your Universal Windows Direct 7-day forecast showing that chance of rain late Saturday, perhaps lingering Sunday morning. But by Monday and Tuesday, sunshine, low humidity, 70s, just the air mass that we need after the stagnant air mass we've had for much of the week.
Awesome. Well, Matt Wentz, day one back in the saddle. Awesome job. No 7 tonight, so we'll get to see you again coming up on Sunday. So good luck, buddy. Hang in there. You're doing an awesome job.
Great seeing you
Thank
again. And the new edition. Yeah. Well, right now it is time for your daily dose of pop culture. Our new pal, Matt Standridge, has today's pop break.
Waiting all day for Sunday night.
Carrie Underwood is back to perform the new theme for Sunday Night Football for the 8th straight year. Despite the original uncertainty of the NFL season due to the coronavirus pandemic, football is officially returning, and the major sports division brought back Underwood as a way to create a sense of normalcy. They have also brought in a few new faces to adapt to the world we now live in.
Fans are going to get to be a part of the Open. With our world today and trying to do things in a socially distanced manner, that lended itself to giving us a new perspective on the Open.
How many more days until Sunday? Lin-Manuel Miranda is stepping out of the spotlight and letting his dad take his place in the new trailer for Siempre Luis. The HBO documentary follows Luis Miranda's life story, including his childhood in Puerto Rico, moving to the United States, and raising a family as an immigrant, and most recently, his efforts to help Puerto Rico following the devastating Hurricane Maria. The film will debut on HBO October 6th and bring a box of tissues. And congratulations to Alec and Hilaria Baldwin, who have welcomed baby number 5. The couple welcomed a baby boy on Wednesday, announcing his arrival on Instagram with a name to be determined.
The baby boom all over the place.
I know. We're really seeing one here at Channel 3.
Yeah, we are.
I mean,
there's nothing to announce for anyone otherwise. Jay became J-Pop.
Yeah.
Grandpa.
Don't look at me for any
We
announcements.
have Sarah Shookman had the baby.
Yes.
We've had
Matt.
Yep.
We've had
producers. Couple producers.
We've had Ben in digital and Ryan.
Yep.
Our family is getting bigger by the day.
Just cray how it's
Yes.
going. I'm just kind of trying to stretch time so we don't have enough time for Throwdown Thursday because I'm going to lose. This is just the way it is. There it is, the lamp on Jay's desk.
Yeah, look at it.
This is rubbing salt in the wound, I tell you, because the next question in last week's challenge was how many elements are in the periodic table? It's 118, and I knew that, and I'm mad that I didn't get to
And
say
I
that.
guessed 120.
Uh-huh.
So I would have missed that.
I would have won. All right, Throwdown Thursday's next.
Also, coming up at 6 on What Matters Most, Monica Robbins tells us which chronic condition could be made worse by pandemic stress and what we can do about it.
All right, well, let's get on to our pop quiz now. Which planet has the most moons in our solar system? Oh, I know this one. I know this one. Is it Jupiter, Saturn, or Neptune? While you mull it over, we're going to take a break and we'll be right back.
Even on
Much
Saturn.
more What's New.
Is it Saturn?
What? Yeah. All right, it's time now to answer the pop quiz question. Which planet has the most moons in the solar system? It's Jupiter.
Oh, it is? I was going to say
Jupiter,
Saturn.
not
Okay.
Saturn. Good try, though. 67 known moons.
Wow.
3 of them can actually be seen by telescope, just a regular telescope from right here. That's cool. Io, Europa, and Ganymede, and Callisto are the big 4.
Very cool. Okay, Throwdown Thursday and Thursday Night Football are colliding. We finally get football back tonight. You can watch the reigning Super Bowl champs, the Kansas City Chiefs, take on the Houston Texans right here on Channel 3. This is a playoff rematch from last year. It's going to be a good game.
I'm thinking it is. The Throwdown Thursday may not be so good, however. So Matt Wentz is going to be helping us out to test our NFL knowledge. Matt, I will tell you, Jay is nervous, so please ask very hard questions.
I am nervous.
I don't have a prayer,
I can't
so
lose
I'm fine
this.
with it. Okay.
Guys, the first question is actually about Jupiter, so it has nothing to. No, I'm just kidding. These are definitely all football questions. All right, here we go, guys. First question. This isn't multiple choice. This is just give me the answer for this. So the first question is: the league was founded in Canton, but it didn't officially become called the National Football League until 1922. What was it first known as?
I'm going to say there's American football something or other. American Football League or American Football
Club.
Association.
All right, Jay, I think we're going to have to, I don't know if we're going to give American Professional Football Association. So,
oh, wow, that was very close.
You got American,
we
that was
left
it.
off the
And
professional.
football. Come on.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I'm a point in the hole.
Yeah.
Betsy's
we're
not
doing
going to ring her
negative
buzzer.
points now?
Yeah, I'm -1
Okay.
here. I know what Betsy's doing here.
-1, Jay. Here we go. Yeah, it's going to be -3 to -1, the final. All right, next question. This isn't multiple choice either. The Kansas City Chiefs and Houston Texans are facing each other tonight here on WKYC. Which team did not start its life in the NFL?
Oh, geez.
The Kansas City Chiefs did not. They did not start as an NFL team. Okay.
You were right, Jay.
Good.
Absolutely. Kansas City Chiefs, they started in the American Football League, the AFL.
Right.
All right, this is
Okay.
multiple choice, so you guys are both safe with this. Who was the first owner of the Cleveland Browns? Was it A, Paul Brown, B, Art Modell, or C, Arthur B. McBride?
Well, of course he's going to say.
That would be C. That was Arthur McBride. Only because I knew it wasn't Brown or Modell.
Russ, do you have any Michelob Ultra and wings? Do you have any Michelob Ultra and wings? That's all I know
I'll
about
be in my office right now.
I thought so.
That's what Betsy said. That's her
Betsy,
entire football knowledge.
Yeah, I think we've expanded it. Betsy, you have to do the 6. No Michelob Ultra. All right, the next question. What team is the newest team to the league? Is it A, the Carolina Panthers, B, Jacksonville Jaguars, or C, Houston Texans?
That would be the Houston Texans.
Ooh, you're absolutely right, Jay. Wow, you're on a roll there, buddy.
Listen,
I don't have a monitor. What's the score?
I think it's 3-0.
Okay, all right. Betsy, there's an
Betsy's
astronomy
out.
one.
She is tapped
That's
out
okay.
right now.
That's okay. All right, JB,
This isn't
you and
fair.
I, which NFL team has the most Super Bowl wins? Is it A, Steelers, B, the Patriots, C, the 49ers?
Oh, well, Betsy, you know what?
I'm going for it.
Go for it.
Is it the Patriots?
It's yeah, well, partially. I think the Patriots and the Steelers both have 6.
Can I have a half point?
Yeah, Jay, you're absolutely right. All right, so it looks like Jay 4, Betsy half. We'll wrap this up.
Betsy was a good sport. That really was not fair. That's so in my wheelhouse. Next week, Matt, thank you, by the way. Next week, the questions will be weather systems.
Maybe.
So maybe we'll give Betsy a chance to win this thing back. We're back to wrap it up right after this. Thanks, Matt.
Testing 1, 2.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Thanks for watching. What's new?
One, two, three, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
We're out of time.